Hi everyone, so we are the group 2 and we are going to discuss about analyzing the market demand, market supply, and market equilibrium. So here in the table of content is first the definition of market demand. So what is market demand? So market demand is refers to the total amount or quantity of a product or a service that all consumers in the market are willing and able to buy or purchase at various prices over the specific period. So, it represents the sum of the individual demand from all buyers in the market. So, market demand, kaya mo na siya ang total amount of a product or a service sa tanang bitaw ka ng people or consumers sa market ka ng willing or sila mupalit in different prices bitaw during the specific time. So, it shows the overall need for something in the market. So, nako example ani. So, naay 100 ka people nga ganan sila mopalit og 3 ka apples each nila. So, ang market demand ana kay 300. So, nga lang 300. So, each one daw sa 100 ka people kay ganahan man sila mopalit og 3 ka apples. So, ang market demand ana kay 300. So, ang number daw sa apple nga ilang ganahan paliton kay mo daw na siya ang market demand sa apple. So here's are the factors in affecting demand. So first is the price of the product. So kaning price of the product kay nani siya inverse relationship between price and demand. So ang consumer kay mopalit siya daghan kung ang price kay kanang gamay. Mopalit siya gamay ra kung ang price kay kanang dako. So for example, kaya ang price sa rice kay ni-drop siya from 50 pesos per kilo to 40 pesos per kilo. Ang consumer mo palit ana, it's because kay kanang affordable na siya. Pero if ang price sa rice kay ni-decrease siya from 60 pesos per kilo, kay kanang dakang consumer mo reduce ilang rice consumption unya mo switch sila sa alternatives like corn and noodles. So the second one is the changes in income. So kaning changes in income kay kung ang income kay higher, ma-increase sa diyang demand. Pero kung lower ang income, kay mo-decrease sa ang demand. So, for example, ang salary sa worker kay ni-increase siya to 15,000 to 20,000. So, daka na siya mapalitan na. Makapalit na siya branded na clothes. Nakaw na siya sa expensive yung mga restaurant. Kanya, if ang salary sa worker kay ni-decrease siya to 12,000, kay dili na siya makapalit og mga expensive na mga things. Dili na siya makaon sa kanang expensive na restaurant. It's because kagamay na lang yung salary. So, mas pilion na lang nga magluto sa balay instead of kanang mukaon pa sa gawas. So, mao na siya ang changes in income.
Factor that affects the demand is the changes in the number of buyers. So this just means that more people is equals to more demand, while fewer people is equals to less demand. So perfect example of this is the milk tea shop near our school, which is the Uncle Brew. So naman sa tuwang school, we can expect that their target customers are students. So during class days, since daghan mag students nga mga to sa school, so the demand of milk tea will rise or it will increase. While during summer vacation or tuwing bakasyon, wala may kaayoy students or wala gyud nga students mo ato sa school, so that means the demand for milk tea will decrease. So the next factor would be consumer preferences and tastes. The changes in the consumer preferences due to fashion, culture, advertising, or social trends can significantly impact demand. A product that becomes trendy or popular will experience higher demand, while if a product becomes outdated, demand will decline. Example of this is the fall in preferences for CDs. So, sa una, ang CD ra gyud ang only way nga makatan-aw ta og like international movies or ato ang favorite movies. But today, since nagka-develop naman ang ato ang technology, we now have cell phone. So, ang cell phone kay it allows us to access different movies in different countries. So, mao na siya nga mao naman ang popular ron gamiton ang preferences na nila sa CD kay ni decline na or ang demand sa CD kay ni decrease. The last factor is the prices of related goods. The demand for a product is also influenced by the price of other related goods, categorized into firstly is substitutes and second is complements. The substitutes are goods that can replace each other. If the price of one rises, demand for the substitute increases. For example, if Coca-Cola raises its price, demand for Pepsi may rise. So, kung ang substitutes di ay kay mauni ang mga product nga naay alternative. So sa ato ang example, kung si Coca-Cola gali they decided to increase their price, ang ato ang mindset ana kay dili na kaayo nato need ang Coca-Cola since na may other substitution or naay alternative product nga mas cheaper, which is ang Pepsi. So kung ang price gali sa Coca-Cola kay mo increase, ang kanang alternative product niya, ang demand sa alternative product niya, which is ang Pepsi, kay also mo increase. Second one is the complements. If the price of a complement rises, demand for the related good falls. For example, if gasoline prices rise, demand for cars may decrease. So, related man ang cars or ang mga sakyanan sa gasolina. So, kung magpalit gali kag cars, so matik na mo palit kag gasoline. So, kung mo taas ang presyo sa ato ang gasoline, so ang mga tao kay ang ilahang demand sa pagpalit og car kay mo decrease since madoble man ang ilahang gasto. Mo palit na gali sila expensive car, dayon expensive pagid ang gasoline. So now let's discuss about the law of demand. The law of demand states that as the price of a good increases, the quantity demanded of this product decreases. And as the price decreases, the quantity demanded increases. This creates an inverse relationship between price and the quantity demand, represented by a downward sloping on the demand curve. So, ang law of demand kay nag-show siya og inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. So, kung mo increase ang usa ka variable, mo decrease ang usa, while vice versa. So, kung mo increase gali ang price, mo decrease ang quantity demanded. Kung mo decrease ang price, mo increase ang quantity demanded. So, there are some factors which affects the purchasing power or the demand of a consumer, which we will discuss later on. So this time we will talk about the demand curve. A demand curve is a schedule of the willingness and capacity of a consumer to buy a commodity at alternative prices at a given point in time, other things held constant. So sa demand curve, ari nato makita ang relationship between prices and the quantity demanded. And maka-explain sad siya kung unsay mahitabo sa quantity demanded if there is a increase or the decrease of price. This time we'll be talking about the changes in the demand curve. A demand curve can change in two ways. The first one is the movement along the demand curve, which happens when there is a change in quantity demanded, and the second one is the shift of the demand curve, which shows that there is a change in demand. So the first changes in the demand curve is the movement along the demand curve. This occurs when the price of the good itself changes, leading to a movement along the existing demand curve. So if naay increase sa price, kay na mo decrease ang quantity demanded. So this changes causes the curve to move upward. While kung nasa'y decrease sa price, na mo increase sad ang quantity demanded sa mga consumers, which leads for the graph or for the curve to move downward. So the second change of the demand curve is the shift of the demand curve. This happens when factors other than prices change, causing the entire curve to move leftward or rightward. So in rightward shift, it shows that there is an increase in demand. So during this shift, consumers demand more at every price level. So the causes of this movement or the shift is the higher consumer income or na by uban things nga mas ni popularize ana or na ay trend nga specific product. So while the leftward shift shows the decrease in demand. So consumers demand less at every price level. So ang demand sa mga consumers kay mo lessen. So mausad na nga even though walay decrease sa price or walay changes in the price, since na may changes sa demand sa quantity demanded, so na ay shift pa leftward or pa rightward sa demand curve.
Hello, my name is Shansel Tintipilapil, here to discuss about the quantity demanded and the demand schedule. So first we have quantity demanded. So this is the amount or number of units of a product that a household would buy in a given time period. If it could buy it all wanted at the current market price. So quantity demanded daw refers to the total number of units of a specific product that a household would purchase within a given time frame, assuming they could buy as much as they want at the current market price. It's about the amount bought at a single price point. And next we have demand schedule. So this is a table showing how much a given product of a household would be willing to buy at a different prices. So based on the definition, so this is a table that illustrates how much of a given product a household would be willing to buy at various different prices. It shows the relationship between price and quantity demanded. Essentially, it's a list of quantity demanded at different price levels. So as we look at the illustration of the demand schedule and quantity demanded, we can see that in the demand schedule, it is really a table. Okay, una siya. So ang nasa table is price, which is $15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. And the answer sa PICAS is quantity demanded per month, which is 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. So ang demand schedule is connected siya sa quantity demanded nga graph kay as you can see in the quantity demanded nga graph kay nagbase siya sa demand schedule nga table. So mo na siya. So kung atong tanaw ng quantity demanded nga graph, makita na to ang prices nga naa sa vertical nga line and ang quantity which is naa sa horizontal nga line. So ang kanang points diya is gi-intersect na lang siya sa duha ka kuan which is ang price of quantity demanded per month nya gi-connect siya sa mga other prices and quantities.
So at this time, we are going to discuss about market supply. So what is market supply? Market supply is the total amount or total number of available goods or services in the market. And the producers or suppliers of this, they are willing and able to provide these products or service at a certain price intervals at a specific period of time. And now, since we are done with discussing the definition of market supply, let us now move on in identifying the different factors affecting supply. First up, we have technology. Technology affects supply in a good way because this causes fast production and more production. Most companies, especially manufacturing ones, rely on technology in order to keep up with the demand and to supply products and services that is wanted and needed for customers. And for the second one is we have the cost of production. So, ang cost of production makaka-affect ni siya sa supply since nag-include ni siya sa raw materials, sa labor, and other elements na needed in order to provide a service and to produce a product. So, gasted din hina if mag-increase daw ang cost of production, it means na maglisod ang mga producers na mag-make og daghang product or mag-provide og daghang product sa market kay magbayad sa sila og dako kay nitaas man ang cost of production.
Number of sellers. The number of sellers in market refers to the total quantity of firms of businesses offering a specific good or services. This factors is crucial as it significantly influence market structure, competition level, pricing strategies, and overall market dynamics. A higher number of sellers typically leads increased competition which can drive price down, enhance consumer preferences. Conversely, a lower number of sellers may result in monopolistic and oligopolistic conditions, where few firms dominate the market and can set higher prices due to reduced competition. Next, taxes and subsidies. Taxes and subsidies are government interventions that impact economic activity. Taxes are a compulsory financial charge imposed on individuals or businesses which can affect production costs and consumer prices. Higher taxes on goods could lead to increased prices for consumers, potentially reducing demand. Subsidies, on the other hand, are financial incentives provided by the government to encourage production or consumption of certain goods. These can take various forms such as direct payments or tax breaks. For example, agricultural subsidies are designed to support farmers by lowering their production costs, thereby enabling them to sell their products at competitive prices. This can lead to increased output and lower prices for consumers. Both taxes and subsidies play a significant role in shaping market behavior, influencing supply and demand dynamics, and ultimately affecting economic welfare.
So, let us now open the topic for the law of supply. So, ang main kasubject ng law of supply, guys, kay if there is an increase in the price, there is also an increase in the supply. The same thing goes when there is a decrease in the supply, in the price, there is also a decrease in the supply. So, why does this occur, or what is the reason behind this? I think you guys know why, because it's very obvious. But anyways, let us proceed. So, diba, when there is an increase in the price, as what I have said earlier, there is also an increase in supply. So, na ako'y question para sa inyo ha, guys. If kamo ang supplier or a producer, magsige ba mo or mag-produce ba mo og more or less if makahibalo mo na ni-increase ang price sa usa ka product or service. So, diba, iyong thinking dyan na mas mag-produce mo daghan or mag-keep up sa demand, since an increase in the price means an increase in your profit too. But when there is a decrease in the price, ang inyong thinking kay disadvantage man para sa amo kay if magsige min na lang mi og produce, magsige na lang mi provide og service or product sa market niya, ing anira ang kuan, ing anira ang price na gihatag or gi-offer sa amo mas, diba? Yung thinking guys na malugi maguro mo aning trabaho uy, nga naman ma-produce mo og daghan niya ang price na gi-offer kay ang ana era. So that is the reason why ang mga mindset magud sa kanang tao, not only the producers or sa mga supplier, kay kuan sila magdepend siya sa situation or unsa ang kanang matabang sa ilahaan niyo or what is more beneficial to them. So now let us discuss the supply curve. So ang supply curve, this is a graph that explains the direct or concise relationship between the price of a product and the service that the seller is willing to provide over a specific period, both the price and the supply being equal. So ang supply curve there, guys, this is a graph that shows the equal relationship of the supply and the price. Now, let us move on to the quantity supply. So, ang quantity supply, this refers to the total amount of goods and services made available for sale at a given price. So, the next one is the supply schedule. So, ang supply schedule, this is a table that shows if how many or how much ang ma-provide na goods and services at a certain price by different firms. And now, in the next slide, I will show you guys an example of a supply curve and a supply schedule. So, as you guys can see, this is an example of a supply curve and a supply schedule. So, diba, ang supply schedule, guys, kuan siya in a table form na ay mga columns, while ang supply curve, it is a graph.
So, good morning, ma'am. So, the topic that I discussed today is analyzing supply. So, analyzing supply means understanding the factors that affect how much of a product producers are willing to make available in the market. So, producers' decisions are influenced by several key factors, including price, production, cost, technology, and market conditions. When these factors change, the quantity of goods that producers supply can increase or decrease. So, there are factors influencing supply. So, the first factors influencing supply is price of the good. So, higher prices encourage producers to supply more because they can earn more profits. So, just example of a rice. So, if the price of rice in the last month is 30, and this month the price of rice ni Saka and mahimong mudako ang ilahang ginansya tungod kay ni Saka og 50 pesos ang price sa rice. So that is example of price of the goods. So that influencing supply is good to the seller. So the second one is input cost. So when production costs such as raw materials and labor increase, it becomes more expensive for producers to make goods, so they might supply less. So kung usa ka ang gasto sa paghimo sa product, sa labor, sa bisag unsa pa sa material or sa bisag unsa pa dira, is mas maubos ang ilahang supply just because of dako na ilahang gusto unon and gamay na lang ilang maginansya na profit. So mo nang ikaduha, just example of a bread. So example na bakery nga ni mahal ang harina, ni mahal ang ilahang kamay. So mo na nga makapadasig nila nga mo supply sila less nga pan. So mo na. And the third one is technology. So advancements in technology can make production faster and cheaper, which encourage producers to increase supply. So ang pag-uswag sa teknolohiya makapadali ug makapabarato sa paghimo sa product nga makapataas sa supply sa mga sellers. So mo na ita 3. So example of that is a manufacturer adopts a new automated assembly line, reducing production time and cost. This allows them to increase the numbers of cars they produce and sell. So ang usa ka kampanya sa sakyanan nagamit og bag-ong makinarya nga automatiko nga nagpaubos sa oras ug gasto sa production. Tungod niini mas daghan silang ma-produce nga sakyanan ug mabaligya. So mao nang technology example. So and the next one is numbers of sellers. When more sellers enter the market, the total supply increase because more producers are offering goods. So kung daghan ang mosulod nga mag-sell sa market, musaka gyud ang kinatubok ang supply kay daghan na ang nagbaligya sa goods. So mao na just example of one, the more small coffee. So daghan man gig mga gagmay nga coffee diri kanang naghimo og mga coffee. So more coffee shops open in a city, leading to increase in the supply of coffee because more sellers are offering the product. So kung daghan ang magbukas ng gagmay nga tindahan sa kape sa usa ka syudad, musaka ang supply sa kape tungod kay daghan ang nagbaligya niini. So the third is government policies. So ining government policies is kuan gini siya kanang example and nine good and nasay bad. So taxes can increase production cost and reduce supply, while subsidies can lower cost and encourage more production. Regulation can either help or hinder supply. So ang buhis makapataas gasto sa paghimo og makapaubos sa supply, samtang ang subsidy makapaminos sa gasto ug makadasig sa mas daghang production. Ang mga balaod sa government mahimong makatabang o makababag sa supply. Makapatabang ba siya or makababag? So and the last one is future expectations. If producers expect that prices will be higher in the future, they might hold back some of their supply to sell at a higher price later. Just example of oil. So gasolina. Example gasolina, if kanang mamahal ang gasolina sa next month, so ilan ang tigumon ang mga gasolina nga ilang naa pa nila karon para ilang mabaligya next month, para dako ang ilang profit, dako ang maginansa. So that's all factors influencing supply. And that's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Hi there. Today we're going to talk about the change in quantity supplied versus change in supply. So first we're going to find out its definition. So first we have supplied. Supplied is a movement along the existing supply curve, and its movement is caused solely by a change in a price of its good itself. Like for example, if the price decreases, the quantity supplied also decreases, and if the increases, the quantity supplied also increases. And when we call the price increases and quantity supplied increases, as we call movement up along the curve. And while it also the price decreases and quantity supplied decreases, that's we call movement down along the curve. While supply is a shift of a entire supply curve, and its shift is caused by factors other than price of its good, such as good in inputs costs like raw materials, labors, and technology. It helps improve making production more cheaper or more efficient, or like government policies like taxes, subsidies, and regulations. So now we have the graphical representation. First, we have supplied. Supplied is a movement along the supply curve. That's what I said earlier. We have it's up or down, and while supply is a shift either to left or right. So when we call left, it decreases in supply, while in the right, it increases in supply. So in short, a change in price of a good leads to change in a quantity supplied, that's we call the movement along the curve. And change in other factor leads to change in supply itself, that's we call shift to entire curve.
The next part, I will show you a sample graph about the changes in the supply curve. So as you guys can see, in the first graph, that is the supply curve moving towards the right way, and the next graph is the supply curve shifts to the left.
What is market equilibrium? Market equilibrium is the market state where the supply in the market is equal to the demand in the market. The equilibrium price is the price of a good or service when the supply of it is equal to the demand for it in the market. So ang market equilibrium usa ka important nga concept sa economy nga mahitabo kung ang price sa usa ka product o service nga gihatag sa merkado kay parehas sa kantidad nga gipangayo sa mga consumers. Mag-imagine ta usa ka tindahan nga namaligya og mangga. Kung mahal kaayo ang mangga, gamay ra mo palit. Kung barato ra kaayo, daghan na mo palit, pero basin dili makabawi og kita ang tindahan. Pero kung sakto lang ang presyo, daghan ang palit, sakto ra sad ang supply. Mao ang market equilibrium.